So guys, welcome back to Texas E36 Garage, guys. We are back on the M3 again. As you can see, we have primed with the high build primer. It's actually like an orange color, but we have primed both wheel wells and what we're gonna paint. Everything there, we have everything kind of taped off right now. The whole motor will be taped off once we go to actually spray the actual paint, but everything is smooth, everything is ready to go, guys. We are letting that set up and cure. You saw last video we did the chase bays power steering delete and getting that on. So this episode we're going to be putting on the oil cooler, running the lines, and fabricating up some mounting for the oil cooler, so we'll get that figured out.
Wow, we drink bubbles! Cody drinks pink bubbles as he works on the car.
They match the car, that's why.
Here you go.
I like bubbles. Oh, so
don't ignore the paint.
As I told you guys before, we are engaged. She finally asked me.
He's pretty.
I know. But we're engaged and we're in the house, so it's like a win-win, and I get to work on this, so it's like a win-win-win.
Bye.
Bye. So we're gonna jump in and let's put the oil cooler lines on and then kind of figure out where we're gonna want to mount the oil cooler. Okay guys, well, I put the lines on. These are our new black lines. I've kind of run them in a generic fashion, just trying to figure out where everything's gonna kind of run and go right now. So we need to put the bumper on so that I can kind of tell what space we have back there to work with and what we, where the oil cooler can actually go on the passenger side so we can actually mount it up. So let's put the bumper on and start figuring out the oil cooler mounting. So guys, with the bumper mounted, I think this area, I don't know if you can see that, this area is gonna be our perfect mounting spot. I'll do an all thread piece on this side and I'll make a bracket on that side so that we have full ability to utilize as much cooling as possible from direct airflow. So that's gonna work out perfectly right there, guys. So let's start fabricating some brackets. Got some aluminum sheets, got some aluminum L brackets, and I should have enough to start making stuff work. So let's get something mounted. So guys, I didn't film much. Where are you guys? So guys, I did not film much here. I don't know if you can see me or not, but we kind of mocked up where the oil cooler is gonna go, hooked up the lines, got the lines kind of run, and started fabricating some bracketry. We made sure this all clears the bumper. Once you put the bumper on, this all clears. We're mounted over there, mounted here. It's pretty stiff. Once I we'll put the bumper back on and we'll kind of map out the area that I want the ducting to go. We've made sure that we clear the tire when we turn, all of that. So as soon as we get the bumper back on, we can start fabbing up our aluminum pieces around so that we can start creating the ducting for everything and make sure it all fits. So I'm gonna test fit the bumper here in a second and start mapping some stuff out, guys. As you guys can see, that's the clearance we have when the tire is turned all the way, we have about a good like 2-3 inches to the oil cooler, so we should be golden in that position, guys. You know, it's really good location and looking good, guys. So guys, as you can see, with the bumper mounted, we have more than enough room for ducting. As you can see here, you can see the oil cooler back there behind everything. We are going to cut all of this out and make ducting in for the oil cooler, guys. Might be cutting up here on this bumper. I'm not totally sure, making one big opening here for that ducting, but that's what we're here to find out and kind of map it out and see what we got and see what we need so that we can create this ducting and make it look halfway decent, guys. So let's get to it. Well guys, we're back at it. As you can see, we have the engine bay painted. I'm sorry I did not film that, guys. It literally was spray canned and we sprayed it last night. It's dry now, dry to the touch, looks really good. We have the intake manifold on. Super simple, like a 15-minute job to put it back on, bolt it all down. The 42-pound injectors are in. Everything's hooked up. Everything is together as far as motor-wise. So we are back to almost normal. I am mocking up the intercooler piping, guys, so that I can figure out where all the piping goes, so I can then in turn take it apart and I can paint it and we can get it looking good and clean. But first we need to mock up the intercooler. As you can see, we have to fabricate some brackets, which we're going to fabricate here and here, but I need to grind off some of that mounting bracket so that we can slide the intercooler up high enough so we can get that done, guys. But moving ahead. Once I get this done and the intercooler piping kind of mocked up, I can start painting the intercooler piping, and while that is drying, I can install the actual supercharger, guys. So the bracket and all that kind of stuff. So now that'll be good. But let's get to it. Let's cut some brackets. So guys, we have these little aluminum angles. We are going to fab up and make some nifty little mounts here, and we'll see how well that goes. We're gonna get one for one side, one for the other. But we'll see how this holds and how stiff it holds it. If it's not that stiff, we will have to rework something, but this should work. We'll see. Let's drill some holes. So guys, I did not film a lot yesterday at the end of the day, and I did not film a little bit this morning, guys, but we ran into big trouble. And I've been running around all morning trying to get parts so that we can get this thing back together. So guys, I did have the supercharger installed, and I was trying to figure out intercooler piping routing and all of that stuff when my oil filter housing shattered, guys. So I don't know if it was the stress of the supercharger hanging off of that with the bracket or what, but something happened and it snapped and popped and exploded the oil filter housing, guys. So I had to run this morning to Jay and grab a new oil filter housing. Actually, that one, that's an S52, that one. And now I have to take everything off and put the oil filter housing on, get it on, so that we can then go back and reinstall everything, guys. So probably not gonna film too much of this, but I need to get the oil filter housing off, get the new one on, well, the used one on, and get it all ready to go, guys. Okay? Well, let's get to it. Okay, guys. This has been a battle that I would never do again. Intercooler is in, piping is in, but it's questionable. I had to modify a bunch of piping and a bunch of stuff to make this work, which I thought when I bought this kit it was a bolt-in. Like the intercooler supposedly had already been on another E36, but nothing. No one had any install instructions. Second, none of the pipes look like they go anywhere. I'm talking, I turned them, I flipped them upside down. This side, that side, every other side, nothing worked, guys. So, modified the crap out of it to actually work. And now it's all hooked up, hopefully. Well, it is, but got a few more things to do on it. But as you can see, it's in. I'm making a spacer since the kit didn't come with the 3/4 inch spacer, so I have to modify it. But still have some things to do to make it fully functional. So this is the VF intake. This has to somehow fit back there. I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna happen there, because it does not look like there's enough room there at all. But we will see what we can do with pushing these pipes back and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna have to make this spacer and then be back, guys. But my if all else fails type thing for Wekfest is this little thing. Literally goes there and I'm done. And the supercharger's in. No intercooler, but it would be in and done and running, but it's kind of not what I wanted to do at all. I want to do these pipes and intercooler, but if I can't get this to work, then that's going to go on and all those pipes are going to come out. So guys, I'm exhausted, guys. I'm exhausted. But I just want this thing running for Wekfest, so gonna try to knock it all out, guys. So see you in a minute. So guys, that's it for today. Hit your wire. As you can see, supercharger is in. It's bolted down. It's on there. We need to run the belt. I need to run a new hose from the diverter valve to the intake hose right here. I'm gonna clock that, run that up there. We need to put this on there, but I need to run a breather hose from the breather. I have to run it over and over to the intake. So I have to do that, but I gotta get 2 hoses before I can do that. But once we do that, this is basically together and done. And then we can throw in the radiator and get all our wiring tucked away and in the right spots, get our power steering filled up, and it's actually starting to look like a car, guys. So we're gonna keep going. I have the rest of this week to finish this, so I'm gonna kind of slow down since I've been powering through this so much the past week, this whole weekend, that I need to take a break, guys. I need to step back for a minute and finish this. But a lot of this stuff can be done in one day, and it's not too big of a deal. I had some extra stuff I wanted to do, but not gonna do that. Don't think I'm gonna have time, guys. So that will wait for the next show, which will be next year, probably. But gonna get this up and driving and running and everything like that, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. I know I did not film that much this time. It was a lot of just nitty-gritty, get down, get it done, and everything like that, guys. Cause I've been on a rush. So, but it's together, it's done, it's there, except for the knick-knack little pieces. But guys, we are one step closer. I'll see you guys next video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe the video, comment below if you want to know anything about this car, or how I installed, modified the piping, painted the engine bay, whatever you want to know, guys. Just Comment below, guys, and I'll see you next video.